Hey, hello, hello. How are you? How are you, my friend? Hello, Cuba. Hello, Ramesh. Hello, Sina, Patrick, Pierre. I don't think I recognize Pierre. Pierre, welcome to this community. Welcome to the family. Is this your first time? I don't think so. Uh, I just have a very bad memory. ¿Qué pasa, Renato? Hi, Sven. Hi, Salman. Yeah, no, you're very welcome. Welcome to this community. Just quick introduction about this community. We take a look to different potential entries using the break and retest on mostly on tech names, mostly on the Max 7, using the 1 minute chart. So that's mostly what we do here. Our playbook, or our main playbook, or my main playbook, it's looking for the names going on the same direction than the indices. When I say indices, is SPY and QQQ. But sometimes we just, like we take a look to different potential entries with relative strength or relative weakness. So it doesn't matter that they are not following the trend on the indices. It's just, like something that has, a different plan for the day. So that's pretty much what we do. Feel free to ask any questions on the chat, and I kind of, like reply to most of them. Hello, Yang, Big Bear. How are you? I told my kids about you, Big Bear. This weekend, we were watching some pictures. My oldest daughter, she just turned 15 a few days ago, a few weeks ago, and they went on an amazing trip. Uh, and we were like remembering about our trips, and I was like, hey, do you know that I have a guy in my YouTube channel that he's from Big Bear Lake, and they were like super excited, like, oh, Dad, we should go again. I mean, it's I know it's a long drive, but it's totally worth it. We want to, snow tubing, and we want to, just go to the snow again. So, my friend, maybe I will see you, I don't know, like late January, early February. It's our plan. It's our plan. All right. Oh, that's nice, Pierre. Oh well, so you already know what we do here, but that's very very well. Hi, Shoki. Hola, Alex. Mohammed. Hello from Amsterdam. Absolutely, Amsterdam is in my plans also. Hey, Vini. No, I'm not Brazilian. I'm Mexican. I'm from Mexico. But I've been living in the States for quite some years now. Several times. Well, a few times. Currently living in Texas. Currently living in Texas, in Houston area. So if you guys are around, just drop me a message, and I would love, to go for a coffee or something stronger. Just let me know. Hey, what's up, Luke? Tokayo, how are you? Dian, hello, Gar. Tai Taimur, you are also new, right, Taimur? Nice to have you here. Hola, Moni. Cuba, you went to... Ah, my. Oh, my. That's super nice. I mean, Arsenal is one of my favorite teams I mean, from the English teams. That's one of my favorite teams. Right now, let me tell you something. Right now, there's kind of a initiative of a lot of Mexican guys, Mexican soccer fans. Uh, they are randomly choosing a team on England named Sunderland, something like that. So now suddenly, from, like overnight, Sunderland just they woke up with like a 15,000 new fans on Twitter, and they are like oh, hey, vamos Sunderland, and I mean I never heard about them, and I'm just like riding the wave on the trend. I follow them, and now my Twitter account is like flooded with Sunderland guys. It's super funny, but I love the England, the Premier League. That's one of my favorites. Hey Patrick, yeah, well Patrick, I mean we are just uh, we envy your journey. Hola Sebastián. Ah, all right, Malik. Yeah, no. I know who you are. I know who you are. Hello, DC. All right, guys. So let's go Chelsea. Come on, guys. Someone please ban this dude, Dian. Chelsea. What about Chelsea, my friend? All right, we need a moderator here. Luke, please, can you take care of this guy? All right, guys. So let's get started. So SPY. No, this is not a barcode. This is not a barcode. This is just SPY price action. Uh, it has been a slow, super slow, total kind of green to the upside. I was super boring. I was waiting for some action on the indices because I the world champions. Come on, Luke, please take care of this guy. So I was waiting for something on SPY because I miss all of the names, all of the tech names. I miss all of the opportunities there because I was waiting for something on the indices. I was waiting for something on the indices. But look at this. Look at this. Again, full disclosure, this is not a barcode. This is not a barcode. This is not a joke. This is just SPY price action today. So just as you were saying, today was a patience test, and I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it. So I took this break and retest, and look at this. This was not the first break, but this was the very first actual, like slowly grinding to the upside. This was the only like good break, retest, reaction, and keeping right here. So someone on Discord asked me, Neto, why you didn't enter here, 1050? And the reason why, it's because I have been watching this area here for so long. So it was not that I needed, only to reclaim or to break this 5-minute opening range, but also we needed to actually like reclaim, break this area here, like something like this. Can you see how many rejections right here? How many rejections right here? So I was waiting to actually do something potentially like strong here. So I didn't enter here because I was waiting for some sort of reaction here as it happened here. Look at this. This was a strong rejection right here. 644.50. Well, actually it was 644.45, I think. Something like it. Yeah. So when we finally broke again and all of these rejections here were above the 5-minute opening range high, well, I enter right here, 1103. I know this is late for a regular place. I know this is not like a super nice break, displacement retest, but it is kind of, like the break of this 5-minute opening range and also this 644.40, 35, something like that retest. And I took this one here. I was taking same day expiration, and for being honest, I closed my position here. All of it. I took like 35% on my position, and I miss all of this. The gap fill. But you know what? I mean, this action price here was so boring today. Was so boring today that I just couldn't handle. So I closed my position here. I know I missed some of the nice uh squeeze above this 644.88, but again, I'm not gonna lie, I was just super frustrated about this move or about this price action, so I closed my position here. I mean, I trim first around pre-market high, and then I closed the rest of my position around here. um were you concerned about entering at high of the day? Yes and no, and I want to tell you why. This is not something that I show you very often, but I want to show you today, and it is the volume by price. So, volume by price last week to date, it was showing a lot of volume right here. It was showing a lot of volume right here. Actually, it was from last Friday. But I was, like trusting the actual move to this 644.88 or 645 area. So that was kind of the idea behind my trade. So yes, it was close to high of the day, but actually, if look at this, where from I took my entry to the actual high of the day, it was a 1 to 1.7 reward. So it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. So that's why I took my chances here. Why 0DT for indices? Because on indices I'm usually just taking like from one key level to the other. So I'm not like in a tech name like waiting for external liquidity or something. On the indices, I'm usually going from one key level to the other. Like here, right? Like I was looking for my entry on the 5-minute opening range high. I trim on the pre-market high, and I cut my position on this 644.88. That's a key level of the 15-minute chart. You have been sticking to the 1 DTE, but interested to see. Well, it just how well you are choosing your plays, Pierre, and how well you are executing your orders, right? Because you need to be fast with the 0 DTE because it moves super fast. So you need to be ready. You need to leave the grid out of your chart because sometimes it gives you a lot. Sometimes it goes against you. So you need to be ready to accept that the trade is not going on your direction and take quick losses, or just ride your trade. It's I don't know, like it's a different approach to what we do on the weeklies for the tech names. It's just you just need to practice. I think it doesn't have like anything like super special. It's just everything happens super fast, so you just need to be ready, and that's it. Um, so kind of the same thing here on QQQ. Well, actually QQQ was kind of cleaner. So we had this break, nice displacement, retest of this 5-minute opening range high. Well, as you can see here, we didn't retest for 3 cents. So this is one of the things that I tell you all the time, right? Like, remember, when we are watching lines on the chart, it's I mean, don't ever think that it needs like to be right to the T. Sometimes it's kind of an area here. And actually, what I was watching here, for example, I didn't take this trade because I was on the SPY. And I don't know why, because this looks cleaner. But can you see here, this was actually kind of taking this the body of this order block. So I really like this. This is kind of the same idea on SPY. Break, displacement, retest. Actually, QQQ, the reason QQQ is looking cleaner and maybe stronger, it's because it was lagging. On Friday, SPY actually hit all-time highs, but QQQ is still away for a few points, right? So that, I don't know, like probably this is just QQQ catching up on the last Friday move. Lane, yeah, with indices, the trade will be short duration due to going for any of all key levels, no matter if they are far away or very close. So zero DT is the best choice with Greeks for profit. If you are good, be careful with zero DT. Yeah, I mean, this is generally speaking for options, but I think this is especially for indices zero DT. We have this saying, like in options, you wanna be right or right out, right? So if you are, like having second thoughts on your entry on SPY or QQQ, you better cut your position and re-enter if it reclaims your key levels, right? That's kind of different. That's kind of different between like the weeklies and the zero DT. On the zero DT, you need to be right away. If you are not right away, you better take a different entry, because I don't know, like for example here, if I would enter here, from my entry to this candle, I might be like 20% negative, right? It's just crazy how it works on zero DT. So I needed to be, like kind of having some conviction on this move. So for example, here, all the time we were here, I was down like maybe 5 to 10%, even when it's above my entry. Why? Because it's zero DT, so the premium is just burning all the time right here. But on these pushes, this was great. This was great. As I told you, right here, it was like 35%. And it's just like from 571.30 to less than $1, and I got like 35% in just a few minutes. So that's what I like zero DT on indices, but it's not for everyone, and it should not be your main strategy, in my opinion. FE, hi Neto, what is the zone you have that is outlined with the dash line? Is it? Yes, this is the daily gap. So today, this was the opening price, 570.40 or something, and this is the previous day close, 571.97. So this is the difference between previous day close and today's open. So this kind of gray area with the dash lines, right? So okay, so this was another potential entry for QQQ, and then later in the day, you can see here, this is a break and retest of previous high of the day, so you can actually just reduce your risk here and start looking for, let's say, round numbers, 573. Look at this, 573. It's a 1 to 3.6 risk reward ratio trade. And again, this one here, it's another break and retest of previous high of the day. Can you see here? This is the high of the day, break and retest. Again, you can do this all the times you want, right? Once you are on a clear trend, this is the super easy trade, right? You can, if you miss one of these entries here, once the trend is super clear, you can try, at least to scalp something, and you can try for at least for the round numbers until you have something like this. This is a change of character, right? What is this? Look. What is this? Look. What is this? Look. This is the break and retest of the neckline. Let's see if this goes here. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Let's see what happens here. All right, look. Looks nice. All right. From key level to key level. Let's see if it goes to the previous day close. Let's see if it happens. All right. So let's go to AMD. AMD had this huge drop on the first candle. Huge drop on the first candle. You want to compare to the indices? Oh, where is it? Right here. There's nothing too much to compare to the indices as they were, well, at least SPY was kind of, just in a barcode pattern. But the first candles on both indices, they were just going lower for the pre-market low. And AMD was showing the relative weakness, right? So the relative weakness is this, for the ones that they don't have clear these concepts of relative weakness and relative strength. For example, right here, I don't know, like maybe SPY, it's trying to go a bit lower, and the reaction on the tech name, it's way more exaggerated, right? And it happens the same to the other side. If the indices are going higher and suddenly you have a name that is actually just, like just bouncing harder, that's the relative strength. So we have this break, displacement, and retest of the 1 minute opening range low, and also this 164 this 164 key level. Let's say 164 key level. That's a round number, that's a strike number, that's a side number, and actually we have been using a 164 on AMD for, look at this, for some days now, and actually for some weeks now. If we go to here, I'm gonna move this to this high. Oh, let's just like that. Look how it moves, right? Right to the T. This is right to the T. This is the 1 minute opening range low. This is the break and retest of this 164, 163.94, and then a drop. Where is this drop going? To previous day low, and then you have the bounce, right? But this was a nice opportunity here, and well, after that it kind of, like reclaimed the 5 minute opening range, and it has been chilling around this 164 key area, right? Would I take this trade? Absolutely not. Just because it's a Monday, it's 9:39. If I usually, and this is something for our new friends here, I usually wait at least 10 minutes after the market opens. But on Mondays and Fridays, I take special care about this rule. I usually wait at least 15 to 20 minutes on Mondays and Fridays, because in my opinion, it's like, market, the whole market, the whole indices, and just the investors in general, like the long-term investors, banks, hedge funds, they are just, like waking up, like, hey guys, how was your golf tournament this weekend? Like chit chat, office. Right, the first 10-15 minutes. I think on Mondays it takes a little bit more than any other day, for the market to start doing whatever they want to do. If they want to drop, it usually takes more than 10-15 minutes. If they want to rip, it usually takes more than 10-15 minutes. So Mondays are my days where I'm especially patient for, like letting the indices to do something. Like, look at this. Like today, we actually had this break of the 5 minute opening range until 10 a.m. So this is what I mean with being patient on a Monday, right? So that was the only one on AMD that I was just watching. Let's go to Amazon. Amazon was let me show you this one on Amazon, right? So this area here on Amazon, it has been strong support, support, then turn resistance, then turn support, and today it was support again. All right, so I was looking at this area, as a very important area here. So when we had this break and retest of this 228.50, this area here, 228.50, I was like, well, this might look like something, like the reclaim of this area here. I was just a bit hesitant because if it failed here, it will be like a nice head and shoulders right to this key area level, and it may reject and go back again. But no, it actually kind of worked nicely, this area here. So there's not a particular key level here, like on the intraday price action, other than this, right? This is the previous like local high or pivot high. So it's kind of the break and retest of this pivot high or local high. So that will be a good entry. And then this one here, if you say like, oh well, Neto, I don't know, like I would like to break ranges before going to a position. All right, so let's take this out, and you had this break and retest of the pre-market high and the 5-minute opening range high. So if you were looking for an entry here, and then you were looking for, I don't know, like 229.50, this was a 1 to 3.6 risk reward rate to trade. Or maybe, if you were like looking for a risk right here, at least it was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward rate to trade. Eli or Eli, if it's within previous day levels, doesn't that indicate chop? Usually yes. If you are new in options trading, if you are hesitant on what to trade, if you are trying to find out what is the best setup for you, I will start with the break and retest of the previous day high and previous day low. That will be my first setup, and that's actually my first main setup. That's my main setup. That's the one that I like. That's the one that I am actually actively looking for. So yes, because just as you said, everything inside the previous day high and the previous day low, it just chop on the previous day range, right? It just chop on the previous day range. So yes, I like when it breaks, retest the previous day high or low, and it just looking for continuation. That's my main setup. Sven, you take 1037 Amazon calls, 1037 right here. Oh, it's the same. It's the same trade. That was a nice one, Sven. Good eye there. You're very welcome, Mila. Is it Eli or is it Eli? Guys, if man, the second one, Eli. All right. All right. Yeah, if I, it's not my intention, but sometimes your names, they are just different for me. What do you know, Luke? What do you know? All right. Let's keep an eye on that. All right, let's go to Nvidia. Oh, what is this? What is this on Nvidia, Luke? Is this the retest of the neckline? All right. All right. So Nvidia here, guys. Nvidia here. So if you don't want to trade inside of the 5-minute opening range, that's fine. That's actually perfect. If you are not, like, All right, give me 1 second, Chris. All right, it's okay. If you are just following the intraday price action, I think this is your best chance to not get into chop. So you wait for the break, right? So for example, here, this pre-market low, this 177.23. I want to show you something, all right? So this is Nvidia. This is the 177.23, something like here. All right. So as you can see here, what is this area telling you? Something like this. Look, resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, support, support. Can you see here, guys? So that's why this area here, it's super important. But if you are not watching the higher time frames, you are like, oh my gosh, these 4 candles are super bearish. What are we gonna do? Nvidia is going straight down to 100 or something like that. But no. So if you can have, like a zoom out, look left kind of approach for your candles here, look at this. Look at this. No, which one is today? It's this one here. But look how clear it looks on the higher time frames. This is the 1 hour chart. Resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, turn support, turn support. All right. So when you have this higher time frame side, when you have this higher time frame awareness, everything is easier, right? Everything is easier. And look at this. Once you broke this 180, look how many touches we have here. Look how many touches we have here. All right. So, all right. So if you were looking for something here to feel like it was, would you have considered the pre-market high retest on Nvidia? I think I will. Actually, is this one here? Is this one here? Well, it's kind of similar, right? It was the break and retest of the previous day high. Just 3 minutes ago, we were talking about my favorite setup is the break and retest of the previous day high and low. So this is the break and retest, break, displacement, retest. But actually, this was a nice retest of the pre-market high. But look, I don't like too much pre-market levels. That's why I don't consider them like very often. And especially if they are close to the previous day high and low, I think there's way more liquidity on the previous day high and low than on the pre-market high and low. So that's why I wouldn't enter like right here. Despite being, well, this is not bad. Yeah, well, I like this more. This was just a shy retest of this candle here, the 1 candle rule. I don't like it too much. The order blocks 1 candle rule. I mean, I like them, but in with more context, not just this. Because right here, for example, look at this. Right here, for example, this was this rejection of 644.50 on SPY, and well, this was kind of following QQQ more. Well, this was a nice retest of the pre-market high on QQQ. I don't know. Well, this just didn't work. That's why I trust more the previous day high and low than the pre-market levels. But if you were following this, look how well it respected. And after this break and retest, everything was just like market structure to the upside. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And well, I mean, it's just I nothing too much to explain here, other than, hey Neto, so you don't trust the pre-market high and low? Well, I do trust, but with more context. And if they are this close to the previous day high and low, for me, I think the previous day high and low are like magnets. So I wouldn't trust this just because I will be expecting, like a deeper pullback to this key level. Just because I think the previous day high and low are way stronger key levels than the pre-markets. Um, uh, uh, uh. Basinga, your pre-market high line shows at 179.20. 179.20 on Nvidia? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's coming straight from this one right here. I don't know. I'm trusting this tool. So guys, for the ones that are new here, this tool that I use, it draws automatically the previous day high and low, pre-market high and low, and the 1 minute and the 5 minute opening range high and low. And also it draws this daily gap. This is the difference between today's opening price and previous day close, right? And it has kind of a combo of different tools, and you can take a look to it. There's a link to this tool on the video and the channel description. So if you want to take a look, I mean, it's not free, but I think it's really affordable and it saves a lot of time because I don't need to draw or delete all of these intraday levels. Because it just does it automatically. So if you want to take a look, I think it's super affordable, and the developer is one. It's a friend from the community, so it will be awesome if you can take it from there. How do you set automatically? There's a lot of things. I mean, you can actually do a lot of things because you can customize the colors, the name tag. Where do you want to be positioned? Like for example, right here, it's right here because this is the trace review. So on the standard version, these name tags are like a few ticks, at the right of the actual candle. But because I want to have them like close for reference on the key levels, I just I move them here. So again, you can customize the line type. You can do a lot of things, and just as I told you, it's kind of a combo of tools, and they are very practical. They are very useful and very easy to use. Um, all right. So okay, well, anyone took something on Nvidia? I think Nvidia just when it broke the previous day high, it was just like market structure, uh, quickly grinding to the upside. Look at this; it went all the way to almost 182. I just think this was an awesome move on Nvidia, and it actually happened like on a very decent time, 1021, 1021. This was a very decent time. Uh, I just didn't trust it because I was super frustrated with SPY. Look at this, 1021. 1021 was here, right in the middle of the barcode, right here. But it was actually looking good on QQQ. Well, I didn't watch this. This was a very nice trade. Did Tony or Jack took this trade here? Do you know? This is the kind of trades that they like. And a clear and nice break and retest of previous day high. one candle rule, and the indices or the QQQ align. Do you know what they took? No? All right. Okay, guys. So let's go to the next one. Tesla, something like this. You gotta trust this, right? The break and retest of the previous day high. Apple and Tesla. All right. All right. Well, you gotta trust this, right? This is the break and retest and reclaim of this previous day high. And as you can see here, well, this was kind of, like this area here, kind of resistance. Then you had this break, turn support, and it was a nightmare here, right? Like all these chop around here. The spy going south. Yeah, again, that's why I didn't like anything on the tech names, because SPY was just super choppy. But look at this, QQQ was actually having a nice reaction on the pre-market high. I don't know. Maybe I would like to take this. Just because it's a break and retest, a nice reaction right here, previous day high. I know this candle went deeper, but with this reclaim, actually, like market structure was intact here. I really like it. I'm not sure if I will, like have the patience for all of this. But look at this. I mean, at the end, it went nuts. 340. Oof. Where is this thing? Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I mean, if you have the patience to be somewhere here, look at this. This was awesome. Let me go to the messages here. Lane, to the Amazon. Yes, give me 1 second. Mohammed, I chop out in Tesla. Yeah, like this one here. Yeah, if you were taking this break and retest of the previous day high, yeah, it was a patience test here. Renato, you took Tesla and it was good, but I got even because of the choppiness. Yeah, you got desperate because it never touched the stop loss, right? But I know Greeks were just eating your premium here. Look, I took Tesla 1027 right here. You misplaced your stop. Like somewhere around here, 340. Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is that, I mean, look at this. I think that if you take your trade here, look, your stop needs to be this one here. If you don't want to be like at the very bottom of this, I mean, that's fine, but you need to be, I don't know, like half that candle. I know everyone wants clarity from the very beginning, but sometimes you need to trust your setup. And I think the break and retest of the previous day high and low, it's one of the most solid setups. What to do in such trade, Neto, to ensure get some of the positive movement, if not home run? Well, Mohammed, this is just a patience test, because it never hits the stop loss. I mean, it all depends. It all depends of where you position your stop loss. But look at this. I mean, I think right here, your entry should be this reclaim of this previous day high, and your stop loss should be here. But that's just my opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion. If you took something different, You need to follow your plan, but remember, I mean, the stop loss should not be like, okay, well, I'm entering here, so I'm just giving a few cents for my stop loss. You need, I mean, you need some room for the trade to actually work, right? Scar, new here. On what basis do you enter the trade? Oh, well, first, welcome, Scar. We use the break and retest of key levels. So we were discussing about this yellow line here is the previous day high, and yes, it retested and went a bit deeper, but look how well it reacted on the next two candles. So for me, this is still a break and retest of the previous day high. And I use the 1 minute chart. But I know a lot of you guys, you use the 2 minute chart. So I'm pretty sure that if you, well, let's take a look. Oops. Look at this. I mean, if you take this trade out of the 2 minute chart, this is actually way clearer, right? Way clearer. So this is your retest right here. You enter on this candle here, and just as I said, I mean, I really think that your stop loss needs to be here. So if you were on the 2 minute chart, it was actually clearer. If you were on the 1 minute chart, you are just watching this reaction here. Yes, it went deeper to the previous day high, but look at the great reaction right here. So this is saying buyers were on this area here, 340. So yeah, I don't know, like I like it here. I know this looks like a patience test, but there's nothing, like there were not sellers like pushing aggressively down the price. So it all depends on where you set your stop loss. I enter exactly at the reclaim before even Tony right here. So this is something that they did, right? On this reclaim. Ellie, you entered 1013. Previous day high. Okay. Right here. You were stop out because you had your stop loss maybe right here, right? 1039.80. Chucky, I took 656. That's like 9:56 Eastern, maybe 9:56 Eastern. On this reclaim, break and retest of this pre-market low. I see what you did here. It was nice. Nice reclaim, nice reaction right here. This is the pre-market low, so buyers were stepping in right here. All right. Mohammed, you lost the patience. Yeah, no. I mean, today was all awful. Look at this. This is your SPY. Mostly this is a reference, right? I mean, I know that some of you watch QQQ, but for being honest, I think most of the names follow SPY and not only QQQ. Basingas, I took Tesla at the break and retest of the 5 minute at 11:20. Right here. Great. That was a nice one. And look at this. This makes a lot of sense. Because we were struggling on this area here, right? So basically, what Basinga did was, okay, well, once we break this thing here, I mean, look at this. Resistance. So once we clear this area here, let's take the next retest. All right. So this was a very nice break and retest of this area here. Look at how many rejections right here. 341.30 or something like that. So this makes a lot of sense, right? Because you already cleared this area here, and you are retesting not only the top of this area, but the 5 minute opening range high. So this was a very nice entry. Congratulations there, Basinga. And again, ATR, average true range high. Where it was the ATR. All right. Okay. Yeah, Basinga, that was a nice trade. Just, but can you see here, guys? You need to have like awareness of what's going on here. You are not just watching the candles, you are not just watching the patterns, you are not just watching correlation with the indices, you are actually watching what's going on here. And not sure how many of you were aware of this block here. Look at how many rejections right here. So this break, strong break and retest of this area here was a very nice trade. Congratulations there, Basinga. 346.42. It actually hit off. This is the thing with Tesla, right? I mean, there's nothing such too much on Tesla. There's not too much displacement. There's not too much overextensive extended. There's not too much oversold. That's Tesla. That's Tesla. All right, let's well, just let me go back to the Amazon trade of lane 10:05. 10:05. Break and retest of pre-market high. This on Amazon. Maybe you meant 11:05. No, I'm not sure about your levels, Lane. I mean, pre-market high was 228.88, and 10:05 was below that. I don't know. All right. Microsoft chop between the 5 minute opening range. Look. Palantir, huge drop this morning. Look at this. Break, displacement, retest of what? Previous day low, and then drop. This was a 1 to 2.6 risk reward ratio trade. I know this. I mean, I'm just not opposed to to short any name right here, but look at Palantir. I mean, this thing is. I think this is as strong as Nvidia, right? It's just I don't know, but when I see something like this, I just trust the setup. This break retest of the previous day low, I just like it. I will take it. I will take it. And later on the day, look how well it started reclaiming key levels. So where is it? Maybe too late for me, but it started having nice market structure to the upside. Richard, Google with the L. You switch, right? You used to trade Google without the L. All right, Apple. Do you know, guys, where the boys took this Apple trade? Mm-mm. No, you don't remember? Jack enter 10:05. This one here. 10:05 right here. Okay. Why? This is Apple on the 15-minute chart. 10:05 was here around 228. 228. I'm pretty sure they had this key level here, something like this. Can you see all the bodies right here? Okay, let's see. Look at this. Look at this. It was this 228. Yeah, 228.23, 228.23. This makes a lot of sense. All right. Can you just making sure that we all got that one here. All right. So it's the bodies of all of these candles from Friday. All right. The bodies of all of these candles on Friday, or let me take this out. Maybe something like this. So all of the bodies and this candle here. What do you think about this? All right. So this makes a lot of sense now. This makes a lot of sense now. So they took this break and retest right here. No, right here. 10:04, 10:05. Break and retest. Nice, strong reaction right here. So maybe they tried something like this. And they were looking to 30 or something like that, right? And they went break even, or they just closed their position when they close. Come on, guys! I need to know the whole story. I can't join the live stream because they are looking at different names than me, and usually they are looking for long, for going long. So that's one of the reasons I don't enter to the live stream, because it's like it's a we are just for me it's noise on my reasoning method, and just because we are, I mean, I will never take Apple. Like I don't trust Apple. I don't trust Apple. So I'm not taking Apple. So if I'm listening to them like speaking about Apple and the key levels on Apple and all that, for me it's noise, and that's why I don't join the live streams anymore unless I'm not taking a trade. So if that's your case, I strongly suggest that start blocking the noise. If you are taking different names than them, if you are taking a different setup than them, and sometimes you struggle because you are listening to them and they are actually changing your idea or changing your thesis on the fly, maybe it's time for you to start taking, like, okay, well, Tuesday and Thursday I'm flying solo, and you start taking your own journey, taking your own routine. You can take the pre-market prep with Jack. I actually love it. I mean, he deep dive on key levels, on relevant areas. But on the live stream, if you are trading something different, for example, I know there's a lot of people of you that you just don't trade Tesla because contracts are super expensive and you have a small account. So I know Tesla is not like small account friendly. So you are actually just listening to noise if they are analyzing the Tesla trade, right? So that's your opportunity, to start trying to fly solo for some time, and then you can come to the community and just ask for feedback on your trades, or like comment with other traders. But on market hours or your trading time, you should be trying to go solo for a day or two a week until you get more confident on what you're doing there. Okay. 955 Tony, this one here. Yeah, I mean, if they had this area here, this made sense. Something like this, right? And he trimmed something here, maybe not, but he trimmed something here, maybe here. This is, it's not a 1 to 2, but it's close to it. Okay. Richard, I took Apple because Tony told me to. I doubt it, Richard. I doubt it. I mean, if you are just blindly following him, watch out. That's a super dangerous thing. I mean, just enter on the trades that you understand the idea, that you understand the thesis, and that you actually plan for it. If you didn't plan for it, it's super dangerous to just jump into a trade, because you won't have the key levels, you won't have the whole reasoning about it. All right. Tony does better when he's not live. Sometimes. I found I can take Tesla like 4 out of the money and still be okay, because when it moves, it moves. I don't share this 100%. I would prefer to stay away of Tesla and like do something the next strike. Like, I mean, you have Nvidia, you have Apple, you have AMD, you have Amazon, you have Microsoft, you have a lot of names on the $1, $2 range. I would prefer to take a name like that going the next strike instead of just trying Tesla 4 strikes away to make them affordable. Because if it doesn't go your way, you are gonna be far away and your contracts are gonna decrease in value like really fast. All right, you took it, this one here. All right. Shoki 717. That's 1017. This one here. You took this one here. All right. You actually got 1 to 2 right here. And if you waited, look at this. I mean, this never hit the stop loss. So you actually got a nice trade right here. Good job there, Shoki. Linda. Yeah, Tesla. All right. Let's go to the next one, guys. Just before going to Google, let me see what's going on. QQQ. Oof. Come on, look. You can't make this out. You can fake it. All right, Luke. Come on, my friend. Come on. Do you trust this or what? Okay, so just for you to know, Luke and Luke and me, we have been playing around with that setup for some weeks now, and I think it just worked wonderful. The only thing with this setup is that sometimes just like now, I mean, it's 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's super late for me. sometimes I'm not in front of my screen because I'm here, or like, uh, so it takes time, right? It takes patience, and I like to trade just the first 90, 150 minutes from market open. So the 1 hour, maybe 2 hours from market open. But this setup that I just showed you on QQQ, that has been happening every day. And if you go to the tech names, I mean that's a setup. The reasoning behind this setup, is once a name starts moving and it hits the average true range, or the implied move, or the expected move, and it starts to cool off, it just like goes down, take some liquidity, and then like goes again to the range. So you take advantage of that move, and usually it pays well. And if you are wrong on the idea, you can just have a quick small loss. And I usually aim for 1 to 3 risk rewards there on this kind of trade. So I can afford 15-20% negative, and usually I get like 40, 50, 60% on these kind of trades. So for me, it's a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3 risk reward rated trades. So I can even be wrong 60% of the times, or just be right 33% of the times, and still be profitable, or still like be break even. So just for you to know, that's one of my favorite setups also, but only on indices and only on same day expiration. Right, Chris, Google 946, maybe this. All right, nice break and retest 206.56. That's external liquidity. This is a key level on the daily chart. I really like it. And you were aiming to this pre-market high 208.28, or this 208.54. That's a previous day high. It's hidden right here, but that's the previous day high. That was a very, very, very nice trade, Chris. Congratulations on this. I really like this. Look how neat is this. 206.50, 206.56. It's above the today's opening price, above this key level on the daily chart. I love it. That was a nice one. But you took Amazon calls? Yeah, well, that happens. Meta, another barcode. Absolutely nothing here. And that was SPY. Let's see how it goes, QQQ. Woo! I like it. Come on, look. Screenshot this. All right, guys. So, team, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming with your questions. Thank you for sharing your entries, your wins, your losses, your strategy, your key levels. Thank you for sharing your experience. This channel is yours. For all of you guys that are new to the channel, Scar, Shoki, Ellie, and I don't remember who else. But thank you guys for joining. Big Bear, I'll see you in February. Thank you guys for joining. Please give this video a like. Please click on subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends, tell your peers, traders. Maybe we can just grow this community and start doing something more interesting. Thank you very much. And I have a special surprise for you. Next week, I'm gonna add something to the channel that you are gonna like it. As you know, I'm a performance coach on the Traders Lab community. That's one of the communities on the Scarface ecosystem. And well, the response to the performance coaching program has been amazing, and I have a surprise for you, but that's gonna be next week. So thank you very much. Remember, next week Monday it's Labor Day, so market is not gonna be open, but I will have something for you. So just stay tuned. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye.